Hello and welcome to Dragon Age Origins. You probably heard me say a million times already, but this is by far one of my most favourite game series of all time, alongside Final Fantasy. If you know nothing about this game, then I highly recommend you check it out because it has a hell of a lot to offer in the way of like gameplay and lore and companion dialogue and development, especially relationship development and stuff like that. And whatever you develop in the first game, you can take it to the second, and then you can take it to Inquisition later on. With Dragon Age Keep, I believe it is, you could save sort of all the main story choices you make on there, and then they're implemented in later games, which I think is really great. There's not very many games I know that do that. I am running a couple of mods. I've tested them, and as far as I'm aware, they're working anyway, but they're mainly just like bug fixes and slight tweaks here and there, nothing major. I do have all of the DLC, which I'm intending to play. I've decided to start playing this now because Dreadwolf shouldn't be too long. I have no idea how long it is. I'm still waiting. We're all still waiting for the announcement of when it's going to come out, but I'm hoping it won't be too long, so I thought now would be a good time to sort of make my way back through the story, get like up to scratch on all the like story and the things that happened and whatever else, and then when eventually does come out, in the hopefully not too distant future, we should know everything there is to know. So let's start a new game. And Origins. And so is the golden city blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for the fleeting you have brought sin to heaven and doom upon the world.
The chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The greywardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The greywardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed.
Get chopped up meat. Cut him in half.
It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long.
Don't it?
It may even be too late, for I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
That gives you a little bit of backstory and lore on the whole point of the game. So in this game, which is obviously the first one, you have to deal with something called the darkspawn and try and stop something called a blight, which you'll get explained more as you play through the game. In the second one, it's sort of more of a mage versus Templar war, which you have to deal with. The whole mage versus Templar thing gets explained throughout this game, and it's quite a big deal in all the Dragon Age things. And in the third one, it's kind of a mixture of all three. So the background you select will determine which of the 6 distinct opening stories you play through. It all affects how characters respond to you throughout the game. So this is where you get to pick whether you want to be like what character you want on the backstory. So you could be a male or a female. I'm obviously going to be a male. And then you can choose between the different races. So whether you want to be a human, an elf, or a dwarf. So if you choose to be a human, the most numerous yet the most divided of all the races. Only 4 times have they ever united under a single cause, the last being centuries ago. Religion and the Chantry play a large part in human society. Chantry is sort of like the main religion of Dragon Age. It distinguishes them culturally from elves and dwarves more than anything else. Humans can be warriors, rogues, or mages, and if you choose to be a human, you get +1 strength, +1 dexterity, +1 magic, +1 cunning. So obviously strength is your main like attacking thing. If you choose to be a warrior, dexterity mainly towards rogues and stuff, and magic towards mages if you choose to be a mage, and cunning is sort of like applied to all of them. If you choose to be an elf, once enslaved by humans, most elves have all but lost their culture, scrounging and impoverished living in the slums of human cities. Only the nomadic Dalish tribes still cling to their traditions, living by the bow and the rule of the old gods as they roam the ancient forests. Welcome nowhere else. Elves can be warriors, rogues, and mages. And if you choose to be an elf, you get +2 willpower, +2 magic. So willpower is sort of your MP and determines how much you can cast. And then obviously magic is your magic. So these are better suited if you choose to be like a mage. And then you've got a dwarf, rigid, bound by the caste and tradition. The dwarves have been waging a losing war for generations, trying to protect the last stronghold of their once vast underground empire from the darkspawn. Dwarves are very tough and have a high resistance to all forms of magic, thus preventing them from becoming mages. So you can't be a mage if you choose to be a dwarf, but they got +1 strength, +1 dexterity, +2 constitution, so they get a little extra bonus to your health. And then 10% chance to resist hostile magic. So they're like extremely resistant to magic attacks and stuff like that. And a human is basically a mixture of all three. So if you choose to be a human, you can choose to be a warrior. Warriors are powerful fighters focusing on the melee and ranged weapons to deal with their foes. They can withstand and deliver a great deal of punishment, and have a strong understanding of tactics and strategies. Specializations for a warrior include Berserker, Templar, Champion, and Reaver. And if you choose to be a warrior, you get a class benefit of +4 strength, +3 dexterity, +3 constitution. As I said, constitution is your health, dexterity affects like mainly rogues and stuff like that, and the strength applies to obviously your strength. Or you could be a mage, as dangerous as it is potent. Magic is a curse for those lacking the will to wield it. Malevolent spirits that wish to enter the world of the living are drawn to mages like beacons, putting the mage and everyone nearby in constant danger. Because of this, mages lead lives of isolation, locked away in the world they threatened. Specializations include Spirit Healer, Shapeshifter, Arcane Warrior, and Blood Mage. Blood magic is like highly frowned upon. It's very, very like hand in hand with demons and stuff like that, so everybody hates it. And obviously you get +5 magic, +4 willpower, +1 cunning if you choose to be a mage. And then finally you got a rogue. Rogues are skilled adventurers who come from all walks of life. All rogues possess small skill in picking locks and spotting traps, making them valuable assets to any party. Tactically, they are not ideal frontline fighters, but if rogues can circle around behind their target, they can backstab, to devastating effect. Rogue specializations are ranger, bard, duelist, and assassin. And you get +4 dexterity, +2 willpower, +4 cunning if you choose to be a rogue. And then obviously, again, depending on which one you pick, they all come with their own sort of background. So if you choose to be a human warrior, you have to be your backstory is you're a human noble. You're born to wealth and the power, second only to the royalty. You find your training in both diplomacy and battle put to the test as your brother leads the bulk of your family forces to war in the south. That applies to background applies to both a warrior and a rogue. You have the same backstory if you choose a human. However, if you choose a mage, the story is different. Wielding a power as dangerous as it is potent, you know that magic is a curse for those lacking the will to control it. You anxiously await your harrowing. A harrowing is sort of like a test every mage goes through. If you fail it, you get taken over by demons and then the Templars will kill you. Or if you pass it, you become a sort of fully fledged mage. The one chance to prove yourself against the demons lurking without and within. To see to be slaughtered by the knights who ward against your kind. And you get, if you choose to be an elf and you choose to be a warrior, you get a Dalish elf, proud to role as one of the few true elves you have always assumed you would spend your life with your tribe, until a chance encounter with a relic of your people's past threatens to tear you away from everything you have ever known. Or you could be a city elf. You've always lived under heavy thumb of your human overlords, but when your local lord came claiming his privilege, with the bride shatters your wedding day, your shimmering racial tensions explode and the reign of vengeance. Elves are like sort of slaves in the game. As it said there, you've got like Dalish elves which live free, but like always try and hide from everyone else and whatever else. They very rarely stray from their tribe. And then you got like city elves, which are like the sort of slaves, and they always live in the slums, and everybody's like racist towards them and sort of stuff. It's the same way elves are like portrayed in like sort of any game. They're always hated for some reason. They were once like the top of like peak of civilization, and then all of a sudden they just get destroyed and ruined and whatever else. You choose to be a mage. It's the same story as a human, essentially, if you choose to be an elf mage. And then rogues, it's the same backstory whether you choose to be an elf and like warrior or rogue, essentially. So if you choose to be the Dalish, you help out your tribe and then you get recruited by somebody. You also just see later on, and if you choose this, you end up getting into a fight with a human in the city and then get recruited to survive. And then finally the dwarves. Again, you can't be a mage, so you can only be a warrior. And then you could be a dwarf commoner as your backstory, which born casteless. So like castes are like families. Like if you come from an important family or important caste, you're like higher up in the dwarven sort of thing. Born caste and unaware rank is everything. Bound as a lackey and thug of a local crime lord, you have spent your life invisible until chance thrust you into spotlight, where you can finally prove whether you will be defined by your actions or your birth. Or you could be a dwarf noble. As a favourite child of the Dwarven King, you proudly take up your first military command, only to learn that the deadly intrigues of family and psychopaths may pose a greater danger than even the battlefield. It's the same either way. You can be a dwarf commoner or a noble, the same backstory, which doesn't matter which one you pick. So I'm going to be a human, and then I'm going to be a human warrior. So I'll be born as a noble.
Greetings.
Let's customize my character. This is probably going to take like a little bit, so let me customize my character and I'll bring you back once I finish customizing him. First things first, as you can see, what I've done is I've changed my character. I've no longer decided to go with a human because you have to be a human in the second game, so rather than just sort of like play human in all of them, I just sort of try and mix it up a little bit. So being a dwarf, you can't play as a mage. I don't enjoy the gameplay as a mage in this game anyway. It's not as like fluid and I don't know, I just don't enjoy it, and I find it quite boring. So, as I say, you can't play as a mage as a dwarf anyway, so I decided to stay as a warrior. It's a toss-up between warrior and rogue. So I decided to say, oh, we'll do warrior in this one, and then we'll play rogue in the next one, or something like that. So yeah, we're a dwarf noble. This is my character. I tried to make him sort of look like me as best I can. I am quite short. I'm like 5'8" or something like that, so a dwarf seems fitting. Obviously, I'm a cube or slaphead, so that's what I've done here. I've got a strong beard game, occasionally. It depends on whether I've shaved or not, so has to have a nice beard. This is where you can choose like a starting preset. This is where you can choose your complexion and whatever. I gave him a tattoo on his face, because why not? Hair, obviously, you can change it here. Eyes, you can change here. Nose shape and whatever else you can do here. Can't change your mouth or your jaw as a dwarf, but you can as a human. You can change your neck and ears. I haven't done that. And then you've got your portrait at the bottom here, which is what you see in the menu. This is where you can change whether you look up or down or whatever else. This is where you can choose looking left and right. The expression gets me at the time, like every time. This is where you can change whether you want to be point blank or further away. This is what I'm going to just straight away to say it there. The expression at the bottom you can change here. You can look normal, or you can look like basically a toothless hobo who's like pissed underneath a bridge somewhere. So I had to pick that, and I thought, because I thought it was hilarious, and I thought it'd be like even funnier if you was sort of point blank at the camera rather than far away. So that's why I've done that. You can change it whether you want to go left or right, whether you want to peek up and down a bit. And then obviously you can change the background color and stuff like that with this. But yeah, that's my toothless hobo. And then you can change the voice, whether you want to be wise, cocky, experienced. I chose cocky for some reason. I don't know.
Greetings. How do you do? Greetings. Greetings. Charmed, I'm sure. Greetings.
Yeah, I decided cocky was the best sounding one. And then I've changed my name, so we'll go to next. This is where you can distribute all your points. So you got strength, which is a measure of your physical prowess and directly affects the damage a character deals in physical combat. It also contributes to the accuracy of melee attacks. High strength is essential for warriors, in particular if they wish to wield two-handed weapons, and is nearly as critical for rogues. And then you got dexterity as a measure of your agility, reflexes and balance. Higher dexterity improves the character's chance to hit, makes the character more likely to dodge incoming blows, and contributes to the damage dealt by piercing weapons like daggers and arrows. Archery and dual weapon fighting styles demand high dexterity to master, making this attribute a favourite for rogues. Your willpower represents a character's determination and mental fortitude. With high willpower, mages can cast more spells thanks to a deeper mana pool. For warriors and rogues, willpower grants more stamina, combat techniques and special attack. Magic, which is kind of self-explanatory, is a measure of your character's natural affinity for the arcane. This attribute is critical for mages since it directly increases the character's spell power score, which determines the potency of all spells. The magic attribute also determines how effective potions, poultices, and salves are for all classes. Cunning determines how well a character learns and reasons. Most skills such as herbalism and combat tactics are required to give Most skills such as herbalism and combat tactics require a quick mind to master, and an observant eye can more easily find weaknesses in enemy armor. Rogues benefit most from this statistic, as many of their class abilities and special attacks rely on subtlety or reading the target, not raw strength. And then constitution represents health and resilience. Higher constitution directly increases the amount of damage a character can take before battlefield. So got your strength, your dexterity, your stamina, your magic, your brain power, and your health. So let's put 1 point in that to boost that up, because we're going to go with a warrior. We'll put 2 in stamina, and then one in health. Let's put 2 in there for now. Seems like pretty all-rounded to me, really. We can boost up our cunning, I suppose, later on. This is where you spend your skill points. So you can see, being a warrior, we've already got 2 in this already. This is combat training, so this gives you like, the higher this is, the higher the tier of weapon and armor you can wear and wield. So this gives you access to first tier, second tier, third tier, and then top tier. The bottom one is combat slots or combat tactic slots. So you take these, you can like assign more tactics to use in fight. You got potion making, herbalism, which is potions and stuff. Survival, that lets you detect lower level enemies than you and like traps and stuff. Trap making, stealing, which is obviously good for rogues, so you can steal better stuff, like open better chests and stuff like that. And then coercion is persuasion and well, you could persuade people and stuff. So coercion is related to cunning. So if you want to like be able to persuade be a master of persuading people and threatening them and stuff, we'll need more cunning. I've got 1 point to spend, which I'm going to put in that. The only other thing we really need is improved combat, but 2 second tier weapons and stuff should be really good for now, and then we can up it later on. And then talent slots, so you got warrior talents, dual wielding, archery, weapon and shield, two-handed. I haven't decided yet whether I want to go two-handed or weapon and shield. We already get 1 point in weapon and shield anyway, but this one here is, through training and hard work, the warrior has gained greater health and reduced the fatigue penalty for wearing armor. That seems like a useful one since we're playing a warrior. And then precision striking. The warrior tries to make each attack count, sacrificing attack speed for a bonus to attack, as well as an increased chance to score critical hits. So if we choose this ability, we hit slower, but we hit harder. While this mode is active, the character drops a defensive stance that favors shield, gaining a bonus to defense. And enemies can no longer flank you. Or if you go two-handed, we got fatal attack on an enemy, expects the player strikes it with a weapon, knocking the opponent to the ground. And that's like a bonus attack for swinging. I'm going to go with this one as well, until we decide whether we want to go weapon and shield or dual two-handed. And then we could use our difficulty. So you got easy, which is obviously the best for beginners and people who just care about the story. Normal, which is good for story, but still gives you a bit of a challenge with the gameplay. Hard, which is for people who are real familiar with the game and want a nice challenge. And then Nightmare is obviously the hardest, which is really, really hard. Especially some of the bosses that I know. I remember when I played through this on Nightmare, especially the Awakening boss is extremely hard to do. But we're going to go with normal because it gives us, as I say, a nice balance between story and gameplay, and I love the story in this game, so... Okay.
Deep beneath the Frostback Mountains sits Orzammar, the larger of two known remaining dwarven cities in the world. Orzammar was once the seat of a major empire connected by tunnels called Deep Roads, which stretched thousands of miles. The city now stands alone, cut off from the rest of the dwarven ancestral lands by the darkspawn incursion. Secure in Orzammar's impregnable construction, the dwarven noble houses continue their centuries-old power struggles. Assassination and blackmail are commonplace, but the appearance of honor is paramount. You are the second child of King Endren of House Aeducan, the 9th Aeducan ruler elected by the noble assembly. You grew up in a world rife with political intrigue, and have struggled against brothers and cousins for honor and prestige. Today, a feast celebrates your first military commission, the opening move towards real power in the ever-changing game of dwarven politics.
Greetings, my lord. You are dressed and ready. Excellent.
I am, bruv, yeah.
I couldn't find the armor's matching dagger, but I scrounged up a rather fancy longsword. Do you wish to wear your shield to the noble's feast?
Yes, let them see me as a warrior. Better safe than sorry. Shield me. Leave it. I don't want to look fearful. I wouldn't even wear the armor if it's not for this tradition. Yeah, let them see me as a warrior.
Of course, if every other noble has a shield and 3 swords, you'll feel awfully underdressed.
You, my friend, are ridiculous. You forget your place. I am not to be... Let's be nice.
One can't take all this marching about and speech-making too seriously. Moving on to the business at hand. The king expects you to make an appearance at the feast, but there's no rush. The noble family heads will spend hours boring your father with petitions and petty grievances.
I've just noticed, I don't know if you can see it yourself, but the tattoos I gave myself on my face, they just make it look like I've got ridiculously huge eyebrows. Boring your father. What shall we do in the meantime? What sort of grievances? The art of ruling is hardly boring. What of my brothers? What should we do in the meantime?
As part of the celebrations, permits have been auctioned off to members of the merchant caste who wish to sell wares in the Diamond Quarter. Lord Harrowmont has also opened up the provings for young warriors to test their mettle before tomorrow's battle. Perhaps we should go show them what single combat is really all about. And by we, I mean you. I'll practice my cheering.
That's it, mate. Yeah, throw me in fights. Why not? Proving sounds appealing. Let's go have a look. Let's go see the merchants fighting with each other before battle is wasteful. Why don't you want to fight in the provings, Gorin?
You remember last year's open proving? It took your father's smith 6 hours to remove my helmet. I'm not meant for single combat. I fight as my lord's second in shield. That's enough for me.
Do we go see the merchants or proving grounds? Let's go see the proving grounds.
Right behind you, my lord. The day is ours until the feast.
Tutorial, tactical view. The game is played from a variety of tactical viewpoints. Use a mouse wheel to bring your camera down to exploration mode. Scroll forward. Ooh. While paused, you can issue orders to your characters. Right-click your desired destination. Your character now has a move order. You can issue orders in real time or while paused. Press space to unpause now. Oh. This is different. I'm used to playing on... Yeah, I'm used to playing with a controller. So mouse and keyboard is very new for me. Take a little bit getting used to. Can we like... Yeah, we can. There we go. New codex. There's a lesson. Oh. So that's what's in the chest. This is our inventory. Take all. I'll take the 5 gold. Why not? I'm not going to leave gold behind. There's a chest there as well. Open the chest, mate. Oh. To equip new items, you'll need to open the inventory. Do now. By clicking on the highlight icon and pressing it. Oh. I got a blood dragon plate. Price 38. Why have I picked that up already? 38 strength. Your inventory, I don't know if you can see it right there in the bottom corner here, but it says your inventory is divided into 2 sections: equipped items for the selected character on the left and shared party inventory on the right. You can drag and drop items between the 2 sides. Quicker, double click or use the automatically right click and... New party member has joined you. You can take control of this character by directly left clicking on his or her portrait. You can use the tactics menu to adjust how the AI controls himself. use WASD to keys to explore the world. Alternatively, you can go around by clicking. Use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Plot hoppers and markers the current area of the map indicate where you need to go to progress. Where do I put these? Use, inspect. Oh, I see. It's telling me to put it down here. Ah, okay, I getcha. Although armor provides great protection, safety comes at a price. Everything heavier than regular clothing causes fatigue, which increases the mana and stamina cost of spells and talents by a percentage. Sturdy armors like plate carry more of a penalty than lightweight leathers, but some talents like the warrior powerful can reduce the effect of fatigue. Yeah. So we can actually, we can alternatively do this. If we don't want to use the
Yes.
clicking. We got a lesser house, we got a small grease trap. When used, trigger this trap to release a small grease slick. And we got a dagger, a mace, a maul, or a short bow, depending on whether or not what we want to use. Open the door, bruh. Let's have a read of a book. Yeah, if you get a chance to read codexes and stuff like that, you want to read them because they give you experience, and that's a nice, easy way of leveling up. Talk to the Royal Guard.
Good day, Lord Iduka.
Do you just say good day, forehead? That's locked. We need a key for that one. Hiya. You just encountered a locked docket. You might be able to pick the lock if your skill is high enough, or you might need to locate a key through the adventures and negotiation. Why did she run off? Don't mind if I rob your books. Gives you a bit of, plus the codex gives you a bit of backstory and lore on certain things, so it's always useful to check them out if you need be. This requires a key as well.
I'm sorry. I thought you were Prince Balin coming down the hall. Forgive me.
No. Who are you? What are you doing in my brother's quarters? Score him. Tell her that my brother is at my feast. No harm done. Who are you?
She's, it seems she's one of your brother Balin's newest, companions. Prince Balin is attending the feast being held in Lord Idukan's honor.
Yes, of course. It was presumptuous of me to think that he would return to... I am sorry. I will show myself out, with your leave, my lord.
Go or stay, I don't care. I'm to get him to do everything for me. Just tell her to bugger off. You know, I don't want her in my sight. She disgusts me. Go or stay, I don't care.
Thank you. I will go now.
I don't remember that before. I want to rob his chest. Have a look in his closet. Got Dwarven increases monetary gain. Seems like a no-brainer. We'll take that then. I will come back and rob these chests and open these doors later on when I get a chance. I do have a mod on that. Actually, I might check it out. A mod on that gives me the option to try and break them open, depending on whether you're obviously... Without a mod, it's based on your rogue ability. But I have a mod that gives you, like... I think it was cut from the game anyway, but the ability, if you're like a warrior, you can kick open chests and stuff like that. So... Like this, for example, and then see I bust open the chest and I get ice arrows. I lost 2 of them though because I destroyed it. But still, if it's only ice arrows, it's no biggie. You can do the same with like doors as well, I think. Gonna go try it. Actually, I completely forgot about that until I just remembered. Kick it open, mate. Oh no, we can't do that one. This requires a key. think it's story related, which is why they won't let you kick that one open. Look at this dirty peasant. Can we kick him?
Ancestors watch over you, my lord.
Yeah.
I am proud to serve the Idukans. I am at your service.
I think. Yeah, this is my dad's room. Oh, we can't go rob my dad.
I am proud.
Shut up. No, we got... What's of these? These are lesser health potions. Yeah, so they all go together. Dwarven Merchant's Bout. Let's put that on. Bout slot there. We got ice arrows, which you don't need yet. We've already got a sword and shield anyway, so... That'll do for now, I suppose.
Serve the Idukans.
We could earn some more money. I serve the Idukans. What about you? Can we kick this peasant? We can't even talk to that one.
You sure you want to go to the feast now? I doubt we can escape to see the provings once we're inside.
You're right, let's go see the provings. Not interested in the provings. What do you mean, escape? Yeah, let's go see the provings.
Can't wait to see who's fighting today.
So that up there is where we're meant to go.
I went to watch the provings. Most exciting.
Most exciting? That's locked as well. Why is everything locked? I'm supposed to be a noble. Open your doors to me.
Your father speaks highly of your skill.
Me, I don't know how you do it, hang on. There we go. Just want to turn the music down a little bit. This is a little bit high. Sound effects, music volume, it's... Try that. Chose to do it at a stupid time because the music was right.
Tomorrow will bring much glory.
Wait.
Outside Duke. Outside
Oh, he
Duke
is talking to me.
blessed
Right.
to have such
I was expecting things to pop up. Pause the game. Life in Orzammar. So, that's going to do it for this episode. I just want to take a quick second to say a massive thank you for those of you who are watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please consider smashing that like button or dropping a sub. You don't have to, of course, it's entirely up to you, but it is free and it just helps my channel grow a little bit more. Most of all, though, I just want to say again a massive thank you for those of you who are watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.